Buckle up, baby. It's your host, MKB here. I'm so excited for episode 36 of Travel Disasters. It's Monday, February 17th. Happy President's Day, y'all. If you have the day off and you are not in grade school, just know that I hate you. Just kidding. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because you know the drill. Follow us on social media. We are Travel Disasters on every platform. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening. And if you have an iPhone and you're listening on that purple podcast app, throw me 5 stars and leave a written review. If you have a travel disaster of your own, send it to traveldisasterspodcast@gmail.com, which leads us right into today's episode. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. It's our first Autopilot episode. I got to throw this baby into Autopilot and let the listeners take the wheel. That's right. This episode is made up exclusively of listener stories, and I'm so excited to read them with my special co-host for this episode. My best friend, partner in crime, and fellow comedian, Maggie Hughes Depalo is here with me today. Thank you so much for everyone who sent in their stories. It was so much fun to read them. This is the first of many, so make sure to send yours in. But for right now, get ready for this week's Autopilot. It's you and me, baby. We're going on the trip from hell, where every flight is missed. They lose your luggage, and you're in the middle seat between a sumo wrestler and a screaming baby. Don't worry, I'm coming along for the ride. I'm Mary Kate Beck, and this is Travel Disasters.
Yeah, Mary Kate.
It's such a smooth, silky intro.
I feel like you are right here with me.
Yeah.
And I'm right here with you. I don't know. It's
God.
so comforting to know you're along for the ride.
Yes. It's you and me, baby.
You sweet little passenger.
Passengers. Oh my God. Ah, so good. Maggie Hughes Depalo, how you doing?
I am so good. I'm so excited to be here, you guys.
Yes.
I'm out and about. It's 2020.
Dude, thank God.
It's January. I am not sober.
No, you're slamming Coronas right now. Like we're at an all-inclusive.
I feel like
like they're going out of style.
I feel like everyone is just really crapping on January, and I'm not going to give up on it.
No.
You know? It doesn't deserve this kind of treatment from all of you guys, you sober cleansers and whatnot. I'm going to take it to the streets, you know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
You're like January in the 90s, like before anyone cared about sobriety.
That's right.
Good.
There's deals on alcohol all over because
they're giving it away.
Yeah. So
bars are like, you buy a shot, you get 6 beers.
come on
with that.
in.
Yeah.
Come on in. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Me too. So this is a bit of a different setup today. A little segment I like to call Autopilot, where we get to sit back, relax, and let the listeners do all the legwork, which I'm super pumped for.
Okay.
So we have a couple of stories today that listeners sent in that we're just going to read aloud, put our little positive twist on. But the reason I brought you on the show today is because we've been friends for several years.
That's right.
But we are famous for our banter.
Yeah. all over the lands.
Pretty much. People will not shut up about it. They're
all
like,
over the lands.
oh, Mary Kate and Maggie, the banter
The little
queens.
banter bitches.
Exactly. But I tried doing an episode where I read a listener's story, and it was literally just me talking to myself, reading a story.
You
and
need
that's
me
so
here.
fun. Yeah,
I need me here with you, just like you're
Yes.
with all your travel companions.
Oh, my little co-pilot. I'm so excited.
Let's
So-
do this. I'm excited. So you're going to read the story. You're going to read the first one. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Who do we have?
We have the beautiful, the fabulous Miss Meghan Hillenbrand. Thank you so much, Meghan. I feel like Delilah on 93.9.
Meghan Hillenbrand. She sounds fancy.
I know.
Did she go to France? I just have a feeling
are
she
you
went to France.
French?
She had Louis Vuitton bags and she went to France.
Hillenbrand. Meghan
She is
Hillenbrand.
famous family for
She's
sure.
not, yeah, like she has an estate.
Yeah, she probably doesn't even have to work because she has a trust fund.
Totally.
She's part of the famous Hillenbrand.
Yes, Megan, I'm so glad we're friends. I want to use you for your money. Yay.
Megan, what do you got? Where did you go, Megan? Let's go.
All right, here we go. So Megan said, hi, I love the podcast. I love listening every Monday morning at work. It really helps me get through the worst day of my week. I did not make this up, by the way. This is her words.
I'm sorry.
You're like, Marky, you're making this shit up right now.
Not to toot my own horn.
Yeah. My head is so big right now. Thank you so much, Megan. She said, I have a travel disaster story from the first time I solo traveled when I was 15. Jesus. Solo traveling at 15?
They send you with like a butler when you're super rich.
Yes. Like Lindsay Lohan in The Parent Trap where like he handles all of her bags
and drops off at summer
camp and they do a handshake.
Yeah. They're like, Miss Megan.
Yeah.
Miss Megan.
I had flown from Vancouver, Canada to Minneapolis to visit my best friend who lived there. One important thing to note is that at the time, everyone in my family had green cards to live in the U.S. as we had immigrated from Australia when I was 5 years old.
Megan.
Oh my God, I have a global audience. What?
Megan, you little Aussie. You little Aussie. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if she had an accent if she immigrated when she was 5. Like if her family still had accents, but she was living in the U.S.
Oh, she's so fancy now.
Right?
This is fancy city.
I know. Megan, we need you on the show.
Also, are you on fire? Hopefully not. Or your family.
No.
But
Your
she's
pet
here now.
koala bears? Yeah.
Okay.
She's in Vancouver to Minneapolis.
Her
From
family...
Aussie to Vancouver to Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
You're like, that's
something
not
went
sexy.
wrong. Something went wrong. Okay.
From Australia to the Midwest?
To the Twin Cities in the Mall of America. Something went wrong. Her dad lost her job, but go ahead.
Oh, stop it. Anyways, my bestie and I had a great week together. Lots of girl talk and giggling about boys. It was fantastic. The time comes for me to sadly return home to Minneapolis. Her parents dropped me off at the Vancouver airport. Oh, I got that wrong. So she was visiting her best friend in Vancouver. She lives in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Got it. I check in, I get through U.S. immigration and get to my gate, only to find out that my connecting flight to Chicago
we go.
is delayed. Fuck. Like, really, really delayed. Like, I would have missed my flight home to Minneapolis and I had to stay the night in O'Hare because I was 16 and couldn't rent a hotel room. Jesus. Could you imagine being 15 trying to figure that out?
Now without my butler.
Yeah.
Rosemont?
Yeah. Oh. And I don't think you can rent a hotel room if you're that young.
No, they're like, I'm sorry, Kevin McAllister?
Yeah.
Excuse me, miss.
Or it's like you get an old man who's like, I'll rent the room for you. Like, you said you needed a room.
Is this a travel
I know,
kidnapping?
I'm nervous for you. Okay, I called my mom, collect from Canada, almost crying, not knowing what to do. She told me to talk to the gate staff and to be put on a flight tomorrow. I do that, and the airline staff are super nice, very helpful, and get me booked on a new flight for the next day. I call my BFF's family to tell them what happened, and they graciously agree to drive back to the airport and pick me up so I can stay one more night with them. That's so nice.
I mean, that's what you should do.
That's
when
what
it's
infant it's a teenage
at the airport.
What if they're like, no, Megan,
they're like,
you're shit out of luck.
We got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, we have to get up early. Okay, good. I'm glad that she found a place to stay. She goes, here's when things really went wrong. I had to enter back through Canadian immigration to get street side. I explained what happened, showed them my green card, and they stamp me back into the country again. I had a great evening with my BFF's family until I realized I didn't have my green card in my purse. I was frantic. I tore through their minivan. It's something I would do. I'm a lunatic.
I seriously picture like a girl with like American Dolls and like a pretend purse. Like 15, so young. All right.
I know. What kind of purse did she have? I bet it had like a fur trim.
Bedazzled.
Yes.
Yeah. It like came with her American doll. She had the same one as her American doll.
Yes.
She's like, Samantha has her green card, but I don't know where mine is.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that's
Jesus.
Amazing. What was your favorite American Girl doll?
I didn't have one. My parents were like, nice try.
That's right. I forget that we're
Here's
20 years
Tina.
apart.
We got her at the flea market.
Mine was Kirsten, and she had a wreath of like candles on her head, which
She was so religious. She was so
like
religious.
Switzerland, Kirsten from
Oh my
Switzerland. Oh God. Okay. I tore through the minivan in vain, hoping I dropped it in the car on the way back. I ripped through my suitcase and purse 3 times. It wasn't there. I was terrified I was never going to get home, but I naively thought that I could talk my way back into the U.S. if I asked for immigration really, really, really nicely. Oh my God. But like, what would you can't like turn away a little kid. Like,
No shit. I'm literally picturing like a really small child. And P.S. Immigration cards, are they like, does it look like a little
like an index card?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
a social security
right,
card?
like that
Yeah.
no one carries.
Oh,
Maybe it looks
God.
like a passport, but still, she's
bet it's
too
super
young.
easy to
Where are
lose.
her
Yeah.
parents? I would
Right?
like to. Can we call them? Can we
Yes,
get them
Mr.
on the
and
horn?
Mrs. Hillenbrand.
Are you 100? Like you sent this child into
Yeah.
the Wild West. She's
Yeah.
walking around Rosemont looking for her purse. And the Smiths, the BFF's parents, have driven off. They're cocktailing at
Totally.
Applebee's.
They're like, we're
in
checked out.
Mount
We're no
Rosemont.
longer responsible.
Right.
Oh my God, so funny. I get to the airport the next day, check in and go through security, and then I get to immigration. I explain that I lost my green card somewhere yesterday in the confusion. They weren't having any of it. I'm in tears at this point. I feel like I'm going to faint, and I'm starting to realize that I'm probably going to be stuck in Canada for a long time.
Not the worst
she's
place.
in Canada? This timeline is very confusing, Megan. Sorry.
I thought
Maybe
she
it's
was
me.
at Rose and O'Hare.
I know, we've been talking about O'Hare this whole time. She's in
It's
Canada.
funnier to picture her walking around
I
Rosemont.
know, because that's what we
She's
can
like,
picture.
Is this Mount Prospect?
Oh my God,
I'm
sorry.
looking
So
for the-
she's in Canada. She's going to O'Hare. But didn't it say spend the night in O'Hare? I don't know.
Megan.
Sorry, Megan. It's probably me and not you. Okay. Once there, I tell the new they take me to the back office to be questioned further. Once there, I tell the new officer what happened. At this point, I'm bawling and telling him I just want to go home and see my mom and dad. Yeah, obviously, I would want the same thing.
You're on the news now.
Yes. Oh, like missing teenager Meghan Hillenbrand. I haven't seen her in
parents-
2 days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Hillenbrands are like vacationing in the British Islands. She's just wandering
Like,
wherever.
she'll be back eventually. And he steps behind a desk, opens a drawer.
Oh, yeah.
Maggie.
Is there
This is like,
No, I'm. Is there a search tool or?
let's see, and pulls out my green card. He had it the whole time. He was bamboozling her.
Oh,
What a dick. They're
What
like,
a-
we're here to teach you a lesson, young lady.
we gotcha.
Yeah. What a dick. I couldn't believe it. He tells me Canadian immigration turned it over to them after I left it there, checking back into the country. They tried paging me to go back to the immigration area over the airport intercom, but I never heard it. By this point, I was about to miss my flight to Chicago, so he tells me to run to the gate. Oh my God, then why were they wasting so much fucking time?
It's like they're trying to teach her a lesson.
And then they're like, run, bitch. Like,
Right.
it's so
No,
mean.
idiot.
And he will call them and tell them to hold the airplane for me. God damn. That's VIP treatment right there. I make it and I'm the last person on the flight. Ooh, not a good look. Could you imagine like just this
And
frazzled
you are.
woman? Yeah.
She's not a woman.
She's a girl.
She's a child.
Oh, and she just like was
She's
bawling.
wearing a training brassiere.
She probably still wears pads because
Right.
she's afraid to use tampons.
Right.
Oh
Or
my God.
hasn't even menstruated yet.
Oh.
This whole, where is she now? Is she back at O'Hare? I'm so confused.
She's on her flight back to Chicago.
So they rush her. She's running through the airport with her American Doll.
Yes. This whole incident basically traumatized me, and I am obsessive about knowing where all of my travel documents are now wherever I fly.
Lesson learned, Meg.
So proud of you. Luckily, I'm now a citizen and don't have to worry about my green card anymore. I hope you enjoyed my story. Please keep up with the travel disaster stories. I just love every episode so much.
We
Thanks.
love you, Megan.
Meghan Hillenbrand.
Hillenbrand.
Oh, love it. That was so nice. This reminds me of the time, remember when I worked? Maggie is my former boss, everyone. I feel like we should disclose that information. But I used to work for you and I took a trip to Hawaii Yes.
And you came back with nothing.
Yes, I took it. So PSA, do not drink before going through security. I had like a 9 p.m. flight that night, and I went through security after about 17 margaritas, and you have to take your laptop out. This was before I was TSA pre-check, y'all. So I had to take my peasant laptop out and put it in the different trays, and it went through security, and I was so drunk, like getting all my shit together. Like I could barely put my shoes back on after security. I forgot my laptop.
You sure did. Didn't you have to pay like $1 million to have them ship it back from Hawaii?
So I get on the plane. I didn't even realize until I got on the plane that it was missing. And then I like shot up from my seat because I realized that it wasn't in my backpack. And
I
then
just picture you with like a what do you call them? The lua? Like you're just like, hey, get
yeah,
like,
the lay.
Yeah.
I like, shoot up from my seat. Like
all of your bags are gone.
Totally. Run down the aisle, and then they're like, ma'am, you cannot get off this plane. Like, it's either your laptop or you have to buy another $700 flight home. So I was like, okay. So I'm like drunk. I slink back to my seat, like sobbing. And then the next day I call TSA. They had my laptop, luckily, but I had to pay like $250 to get it mailed back.
Another trip.
But when she's like the last person on the plane, that like totally reminds me of when I was like
yeah,
everyone was staring at me. It was so
They're
bad.
like, put your Cinnabon down, ma'am. Yeah. We are boarding.
I have like frosting dripping.
I know you had a good time, but like, let's get going.
Oh my God, so funny. So we might have time for one more if you want to do that.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna talk about Abbie O'Ryan. How appropriate to send this from the airport. Oh, she sent from the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she's a fan. All right.
I remember. Yeah, Abbie O'Ryan.
Do you know
we
her?
were friends like in high school. Yeah.
Oh, cool. She's from the South Side?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, she's from the South Side of Chicago.
Abbie O'Ryan.
Yeah.
She's not Irish by any means, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. So Abbie O'Ryan writes, 9 hours of sitting in the airport later, I finally got on standby. Hold on. Am I starting this at the wrong? Rescheduled me, although I've had 2 flight cancels somewhere. Okay, I'm going to start from a different part. Okay.
Yeah.
So I studied abroad in Canterbury, England, fall semester of junior year, 2013. Holy cow, she's 12. Okay. The first weekend of the semester, we decided to take a trip to Edinburgh, Scotland. Easy, right? Hop on a red-eye train, sleep on the ride, you're there. Not exactly. So my travel companions are Paige and Sarah.
So millennial names. Like that was like the hottest name in like 1993.
Couple pals.
Yeah.
2 other girls from ISU who I met through the study abroad program, and Khalil, our Canadian pal studying in Canterbury with us. So another Canadian.
Nice.
So we booked the train tickets. It says departure Friday, 8 p.m. We're supposed to arrive in Edinburgh at 7 a.m. We get on the train. We're all excited for our first weekend trip. This is supposed to be what studying abroad is all about. We get settled in. Paige falls asleep. Probably a late night at the club chemistry that she's involved in. And that's in parentheses, like with a laugh. So club chemistry is either code for something.
I don't know. Is that a discoteca?
She is literally in a
chemistry club. Oh God.
And she is sleepy.
Oh my God.
And we're making our way north. So 3 hours in, the train stops. They make an announcement. We are arrived in Newcastle. The rail services have ended for the day. Please return tomorrow. And the train stops at 5 a.m. to continue your trip. What the fuck?
Whoa.
So they're halfway to where they're going, and basically this big announcement, like, P.S. get off. Which in Europe,
they do.
They're just
that.
like,
they're pretty
we
reckless
are going
with
to
trains.
do what we want. Giddy up.
Yep.
So she said, "What the fuck?" Okay. So now we know that it doesn't take 11 hours to get there. It's only supposed to take 5. But either way, we didn't notice that the train layover when we bought the tickets, and they just expect you to know this, which is totally true. They just like literally expect you to know it. This is like equivalent to the distance of driving from Chicago to St. Louis. Cool. So if this happened today and I was 27, I would go to the nearest hotel, get a room, and deal with it. This is the first weekend of a long semester of traveling. So we have budgets. We have no money, and we're ready to break this. We're not ready to break the bank this early in the game. So they don't have any money, which is scary when you're that young. So I never traveled abroad or studied abroad. I don't know if you did. Did you?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. It's tight. Like, because you have to kind of budget out for like 5 full months of like A, having no income, and B, like everything costs money. Like you're just lighting money on fire.
Totally. And you're so young in the sense of like, you don't even know how to budget actually. Like
Totally.
just to the idea of like thousands of dollars like doesn't last. Like when you're 18, 19, 20, you just have no clue.
But like you just kind of have to go into it with the mindset of like, okay, we have to live like street rats if we want to survive the entire
But when you're
semester.
stuck like that, yeah, like you can't just walk in like Meghan Hillenbrand and get a hotel at the Rosemont Marriott. We're just gonna say she was in
I know.
Rosemont.
I messed that up so hard, Meghan. I'm so sorry.
I think I love Meghan, and we were very appreciative of her being a fan of the show. But like
I messed up the story.
No, I don't think you did. I think, but
follow.
Anyway, I didn't study abroad because I played basketball, and you couldn't. Our season was too long. But I went to Europe after college when I was like a little bit more money, and I'm like looking back like. I could never have done that. I just wouldn't have known how to budget. Like I'd be like, oh, let's go to the States.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
Like, so I give people credit for doing this. So they were probably scared. I'm just scared now for that.
I'm so scared.
I'm like, hey, Abbie. Okay, so they have budgets and they can't break them this early. We're going to find a way to pull an all-nighter.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go. So what do? It's Friday night and we quickly found a party town in Newcastle. It's home of UK's MTV. It's a welcome back weekend for the nearby university, and the sidewalks are slammed with Euro Snookies and JWowws stumbling into the clubs. Oh,
that sounds great.
This is where I get excited. I would have been like, yes.
This is my fucking dream.
The other crazy thing, though,
what's a Euro Snookie? Like, do you think it's just like Amy Winehouse-esque? Like, she's just like, she looks like Snooki, but like has a British accent and like no teeth.
And like plays like the violin on the street.
Yes, with like a bottle of like Jack.
Yeah. God, a Euro Snookie is like.
I want to hang with one. Mm-hmm. That sounds so fun. Just like chain smoking cigarettes too.
And like, what do they do with their stuff? That's the other crazy thing. Like in Europe, everybody wings it, but I'm always like, when I would meet like
you have luggage.
Where is your shit?
You're rolling it around with you shamelessly.
Where's your American Doll?
Yeah.
And your American Doll purse. Where are your valuables? Okay, so what do? They find this street party. We're wearing leggings and T-shirts, so how are we going to go into one of these clubs? Plus, we all have our luggage in tow. Okay, thank God. They did not get rid of their stuff. We decided to go to a pub, low-key. Love it. We sit in a booth in the corner till they close, and then we go from there. So they have a couple brewskis, if you will.
Perfect. Take the edge off. You're stressed. It's been a long day.
Eating something heavy because everything in Europe is just like, just eat
gravy
fried
based.
food. Yeah. Here's some supper. And
everything is a stew and
like heavy beers, and you don't even
like
care.
A porter beer
when you're there. You don't have the like, I'll take a spritzer. You're like, I'll have the darkest beer, whatever everyone's drinking. It's a quarter.
Totally.
All right. So, we're sitting in a booth till they close. Okay. We walk into the pub. We walk to a different pub, and they tell us they're closing in 5 minutes. All right. So what's plan? What's plan B? We're off from plan A at this point. I'm trying to like skim through some of her. So we're walking. We find a casino. Here we go.
Yes.
It's open 24. It's open 24 hours. Hell yeah. We go in, we check our bags at the coat check. Perfect.
I'm still
don't
worried about your bags.
I'm still worried about their valuables.
Casinos are open all night. That's
genius. Your passport, yeah. So we can make this work.
Yes.
Abbie's like, we're okay. So remember, we're all still being pretty stingy with money at this point, so no one is planning on gambling.
Yeah. Ugh, that's probably a red flag for the casino.
Yeah,
so, like,
they're like, hey, kiddos, I don't know if you're here for the talent show, but...
This isn't a crash pad.
Right. We go to the casino restaurant, we order a place, they go to order food so they have a place to hang out. Okay, which is so sad. We sit for a few hours and nap on and off. We're freezing. Clearly, our tactic to keep... just to have a place to hang out is to hang out but not gamble, and they're picking up on it. So the restaurant closes a few hours later and they kick us out of that area.
Oh no.
We were in search of somewhere warmer. Oh my goodness.
Why do you think they made it so cold in the restaurant?
They're in the casino now.
Yeah.
Well, the restaurant at the casino. Probably, here's why.
So people don't stay long or something?
And so that like you're just like hyped up and you're like, I'm cold, so I'll go play blackjack.
Yeah.
They say that they have those like air systems.
There's a science to like everything that happens
you awake.
Yeah. In a casino. Like nothing is an accident.
No. So they're freezing these little shits out, and they know where. So the bathroom. So one of us goes to the bathroom while the rest of us plan our next move. This is so sad.
I know.
The bathroom trip revealed that the casino bathrooms were not only really upscale. Oh my God! Please tell me they end up in the bathroom. But they're completely empty and they're very well heated. So what do? We go hang out in the bathroom.
Shut up, Abbie. No.
Abbie. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have a 6-month-old daughter. I'm just like, I can't even handle shiver.
Your maternal instincts are just like, my baby would never.
Abbie, call me.
Yeah.
Call me. Call your mommy. All right. So we go into the bathroom. We each take a stall. We put the toilet seat down and take a much needed warm and toasty nap.
What is this, 7 pounds when he's sleeping in the bathroom with his son? Have you seen that movie with Will Smith?
No.
It's the saddest part.
His when he becomes...
life is like selling medical device.
That's
he's selling like bone density scanners. It's the saddest thing. And like no one's buying them. And Will Smith is like finally homeless. So he's like, well, we're taking this bone density scanner and because this is our livelihood and we're going to sleep in the bathroom like of the subway.
Is this where he becomes like a famous
and then he's
financier?
Like a bazillionaire.
Financier.
Yes.
Anytime I could say finance.
But yeah, she's Will Smith in 7 pounds right now. So sad.
They put the toilet seat down and they take a much needed warm and toasty nap. The cleaning lady didn't even bother us. God bless her.
Was that 7 pounds? It's Pursuit of Happiness. God damn it.
Like, what the fuck is 7 pounds? I have no idea.
Will Smith is in it though. Sorry, everyone. I'm like really dumb today.
No, I knew what you were talking about, but I thought that was like a new movie he's in about.
Our listeners are going to be like, it's Pursuit of Happiness.
Like,
you're an idiot.
Just so...
I was so close. Oh, I fucked that up so hard.
I was like, what's 7 pounds?
Oh, Jesus. I hate myself. Continue.
So we flushed. The cleaning lady didn't bother us. We flushed when we heard her and she would go away. After about an hour, our alarms went off and we decided to make moves to McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's when you're studying abroad is like a saving grace.
Delicious.
It's so good.
It's delicious all the time. People shit on McDonald's.
But especially when you're like homesick and after such a traumatic experience like that, you're like, you know what? I just want like
fries,
double cheeseburger with face.
Hates how much I like McDonald's.
I love McDonald's.
In other countries, like Spain, we'll have like amazing dinners, charcuterie boards everywhere. And I'll be like, I want fries from McDonald's on the way home. Yeah. Every time when he's just like, I can't believe we're in this line. They're so tasty.
It's so good.
We get to the 24-hour McDonald's. There's no seats. Oh, it's packed. Basically,
it's a delicacy over there.
I mean, you didn't make a reservation. Basically, the equivalent of when our fast food places close on the inside but keep the drive-thru open in the middle of the night, which I know that feeling also. And you're like, they're not even making this fresh.
Yeah.
So there's seats in there, but the whole area is blocked off. So the final 2 hours of this travel disaster are spent sitting 4 girls across from a random bench outside, watching the sunrise, fending off the creepy drunk and homeless passersby, holding our McDonald's coffees for warmth.
Oh my God, this is so sad.
The next day, we got on the final 2-hour train trip to Edinburgh. I'm finally where I'm supposed to be on the mic. We booked our bus tour and slept through almost the entire thing. Off to a good start to the study abroad thing.
Oh my God.
So this was long. I love the podcast. I'll write another time with my scary German clown story.
Oh my God, Abbie, you should have led with that.
Goodness. Abbie,
oh my God. She sent us pictures of like them sleeping like in the fucking like trenches. Abbie, no. That's so sad.
You know what? They figured it out. If that was my daughter, I'd be like freaked out, but be like, you stayed safe.
For future, I'm glad that you can afford to stay a place now. Like, I feel like they could have found like a hostel or something for like €50 a night and like all shared.
But Europe's weird, right? Stuff closes down. They're not like as like, it's not like you're in like Vegas Rosemont and they're like, oh, sweetie. Well, they're just kind of like fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Especially when you're American. They're like, we definitely are not going to like, they're like, oh, really, Becky?
Yeah.
They don't care. You're wearing Louis Vuitton luggage.
Yeah.
Which Abbie probably doesn't. No. Abbie is a hard worker and parents are blue collar. Budgeter and like she has a 401k that is up this
Abbie,
year.
We're so proud of you.
She's saving. I like Meghan too. Meghan just has a trust fund.
Totally.
And that's okay.
We're just assuming her parents Meghan,
invented her parents invented like the Band-Aid or something.
Totally.
So
yes. Okay. Oh, love it. Well, that was so much fun. I'm still very ashamed that I just messed up that reference. I feel like my mom, like every movie, she's like, you know that one movie with Julia Roberts? And she's a lawyer, but it's called like Pretty Brockovich. I'm like, Mom.
You were saying 7 pounds.
I know.
I'm like, who's 7 pounds? Is 7 pounds a movie at all? Okay,
yeah.
That would be scary. I knew what you were talking about. I just thought it was like a new version of that. I'm like, wow, Will Smith. Maybe you changed it up. All your stories are the same.
Oh my God, so ridiculous. Oh, well, that was so much fun. Yeah, these listener stories were so great. I always like to close out with like any trips coming up with like future guests, but I know we didn't talk about your travel disasters, but what's next for Maggie Hughes? Do you have any like travel disasters coming up? Like what's new for you?
So as I mentioned, I have a 6-month-old daughter, and
You're like, I am landlocked.
Yeah.
Forever.
No, I'm actually going to Florida in a couple weeks with my husband for a trip. But no, my travel, like crazy travel days, are somewhat in the past and somewhat in the future. Like you just gotta kind of sit tight. But I want to come back and talk about a couple of some bangers that I have about some crazy stuff. Like I've been to Russia and like
Russia.
Lost bags. Yeah. I mean, we got a whole episode. I didn't want to get into it. I don't want to tease the listeners.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Abbie and Meghan.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sending these in. Any listeners, if you have a story that is hilarious, scary, weird, funny, awesome, send it in. I want to read them on the air. We're going to try to release these episodes like every couple of months, and it's super fun. It's a great way to interact with the podcast if you don't want to be a guest in person, if you don't live in Chicago. So please send them in to traveldisasterspodcast@gmail.com, and thank you so much.
Yay.
Bye. Buckle up, baby. It's your host. I can't. Damn it. Okay, let's do it again. I like looked at your face and then I got upset.
It's still rolling.
Oh my God. Okay.